What are we gonna? What do you How do you feel about your case? What do you basically want to say about what went on?
What happened was very much injustice.
And how do you see it as an injustice?
So the federal court judge went along with the conspiracy, which they put, which the judge fully debated, and they had it fixed. The
Can you all speak up a little louder?
federal court judge went along with it, him and the lawyer. They didn't actually view the case the way it should, and the jury fixed it was not even there.
And what lawyer are you talking about?
Frederick K. Brewington.
Your lawyer.
Yes.
You're saying Fred didn't do what you wanted him to do?
He might have did what I wanted. They had it fixed up the way they wanted anyway, because they know that they cannot.
We're on a conference phone, so you gotta speak up a little bit when you talk.
Okay.
Now,
No, he did his job, but anyway, as he said in the closing argument, that they got something here they can't explain as far as this gunshot wound. They can't explain it.
and your case basically stated that the officer was in one location when he shot you, and the evidence proved that he was in a different location when he shot you.
That is correct, because the officer that they say that I was supposed to attempt to assault, he testified we were face to face, shoulder to shoulder, square to square. And that would have made him got shot, according to the body.
Now, what is that police officer's name who said that lie?
That was Officer Timothy McCaffrey.
Timothy McCaffrey of the 1st Precinct?
Yes.
Okay, now, what was the outcome of your trial?
So the jury said I could not prove that they violated my civil rights. We even had a doctor's expert testimony stated that the police officer was directly in front of me when he shot me. Even the police department's scientific man said it also. The shot was a straight-on shot.
Now, the cop. So you feel that the cop tried to kill you, basically,
Oh yes, without a doubt.
and you did not have the pipe in your hand.
There was nothing in my hand when I came back around that truck and walked between the truck and car.
Now,
Evidence supports it, which the judge said himself when the doctor told him to come off the bench and let me take off my shirt. And put them in back of me. He said, if my arms had been raised in the manner that they stated, my scapular blade and the shoulder would have had it.
those bones would have shattered.
Yes, the scapular blade to the shoulder.
Now, do you feel that since the jury denied you, a proper award in this case, do you feel it was because it was an all-white jury, which us black people suffer a lot from? You feel it was because it was an all-white jury? Huh?
No, it is.
You. All right, Ben. We ready again.
All right.
Now, you felt that it was because it was an all-white jury?
I know it was.
Now, where can this case go right now? Where can your case go right now?
And now, as I'm looking forward to the Court of Appeal, Federal District.
Now, who is Fred gonna take that case to the Court of Appeals for you?
He says he can't handle it. Actually, he wants to get out of it.
And why do you think he wants to get out of it?
Because he knows exactly what took place.
You have to speak up a little bit. In your own words, what do you feel took place at that case over there at the federal courthouse in Uniondale?
What happened over there was they know they got something here they could not explain, so they brought in an all-white jury to act like they were sitting as jurors to say that I couldn't prove it. That's the only way out of it. He had no other way around it.
Okay, now, how do you feel about the forensic evidence, the way that locations of bullet casings changed, and the police department said they lost the bullets that you were shot with? How do you feel about all of those things that came out during your trial?
At that trial, there was a whole lot of that missing, with the Brewington brung up. The test patterns are not there at all.
What would you like people to... I'm going to ask you this question, and I want you to explain every detail of what you would like people to know about this case. In your own words, what would you like people to know about your case?
I would like for them to own itself and how to know how their tax dollars are being spent. How they goes around and mess up and hold illegal prosecution.
And you've been in jail for how long now?
I've been in jail 3 years and going on 4 months.
And what kind of a sentence are you serving?
3 to 6 for no such crime.
And you should have been technically out for after your 3 years that you served.
Technically, I should have never went to prison at all. Because it's clearly in law there's no such crime.
So you're feeling that you just were illegally convicted, period?
That's what it is. They put me in jail to paint a picture for what they did to me, stating I attempted to a police officer with a weapon.
You gotta speak up a little louder. They say that you attempted to assault a police officer.
Yes, which never took place.
And so how did they craft this picture that it took place?
They're saying they were positioned in certain spots, which they weren't. The evidence clearly shows that. The gunshot wound to my body shows that it's not true, as the book said even at the police department. His tests do not match up with his body. According to his test, if it had been shot the way he said, it would have came out of my rib side, which it did not. It came straight out my back.
Because the police officer ran right up on top of you.
After he said he was face to face with me. I'm not supposed to have did to us.
Now, Ben,
Yeah.
what were you doing before the police attacked you that day and attacked your brother? What were you doing?
Only thing I ever said to them was to stop beating him. Because in this case here, the police came to the house and they didn't have no legal grounds for even being there. They could not arrest Arthur Pruitt. All they could do was talk to him because he had no kind of wounds, no kind of scars, nothing.
Now, Ben, I want to ask you this question. How do you feel about the law system as it pertains to black men here in America? How do you feel about the way black men don't get fair trial?
Black man never gets a fair trial out there. But they say we're all equal in the system as one. We're not. Yes, we're second-class citizens as it comes down to that.
So how do you feel being a victim of an injustice system?
It feels real bad sitting in prison every day for nothing you never did.
Now, what were the 3 cops' names that did this to you in the 1st precinct so people will know what police to steer clear from?
The shooting cop's name was Officer Donald Carney. Second officer was Timothy McCaffrey. Third officer.
Now, we're on the phone with Benjamin Pruitt, who was shot by Nassau County Police Department in the 1st precinct, and he was basically convicted of a crime that he never did, in our own belief. He was shot. This is where the bullet exited out of his back. And he lost a lung. And he's on the phone right now.
10%.
And Ben, now on the day you were shot, the police were beating up your brother.
That's correct.
And you had did what?
Kept on stating to him over and over, stop beating him, stop beating him.
And at that point, what happened?
He gave no response.
And they were there basically just to ask him a couple of questions.
That's what they state. But he answered it's a patrol car. They asked him his name, and then they stated to him he was under arrest. He asked what he was being arrested for. They punched him in the mouth.
Like I asked you earlier, how do you feel about the way that the prison, the justice system, the injustice system here in America treats innocent victims?
It is terrible. There is no justice when it comes down to the black man. Had it been a white man, I would never went to jail in the beginning.
So what do you feel about those? How do you feel about those officers in the police department and police in general who did this to you?
Actually, I feel bad about it because, it's an ongoing problem within police departments that continues to go on.
Yeah, like the Abner Louima case.
And the Anthony Baez case, which his mother fought all the way on that, and
she won. She won her case.
Said you even attacked the officer and got on his back.
He said I jumped on his back and beat him across the head with my fist. And he swore to this. He said, yes, I saw this. And he demonstrated it.
Now, how much do you think Nassau County spent defending these police officers?
Say that again?
How much do you think it cost the taxpayers for this whole case?
It cost a lot, because alone, just these transcripts that I got here, cost the county $17,000 just for these transcripts.
For the transcripts alone?
And I got that on the paper where the county attorney raised the issue about that.
And who was that money paid to? The courts?
Yes, the courts gets it.
Now, I want to ask you another question. What kind of life did you live before these police officers attacked you? What was the average day in your life like?
My life was perfect. I had no problems then. But now, my life is destroyed.
You want to give me like an average day that you would do before this happened?
I would run my automobile business how I was doing.
So you had a nice automobile business.
Yes. Ever since this has happened, I have not been able to run the business no more. My trucks have been sitting and nothing has been.
Now, do you have a wife? Do you have children other than your brother and your mother who've been sticking by you and supporting you?
I have a wife, but she has not been sticking by me. And at this time, I got getting ready to go.
Your house.
Yes.
So this has really almost destroyed your life.
It has destroyed it. At this present moment, I got 15 judgments against me right now.
In different areas of your life?
Yes, from creditors. Or they have a lien on my house. They're the ones getting ready to foreclose on the house.
Now, when you were, how long did your trial last that you just had recently?
This trial went like 10 days.
Now, I know this is where the police were there laughing. How did that make you feel when they were there laughing?
I was feeling very bad because I know that they already had this thing put. That's why they sat and laughed with.
Is there anything you'd like to tell people who could find themselves in this situation, like the jurors who found that they didn't have to award you anything in this case? What message would you send the average person in America who feels that this could never happen to them?
This can be a prime example to them how the criminal justice system is. The systems are pretty unfair with people. In this case, he has clear-cut evidence that shows where they are wrong.
And they just ignored the evidence. Boy, oh boy. Did we make it to 1999? And we're starting off. All our programs are going to be in the future dedicated to all the conspiracies that go on against African Americans and white people as well. What I'd like to let you know is what you just saw was a testimony by Benjamin Pruitt on the phone. I interviewed him on the phone. He was talking about his case he had against Nassau Apartheid County, where the police shot him in the chest and murdered him. And he had a lot of interesting stuff to say, how they changed evidence at the place and how they tampered with evidence and how bullet fragments were missing. I mean, it just was very intriguing, a big conspiracy. But as we know, the New World Order is going to be implemented by the powers that be, the same people who killed Malcolm X, the same people who killed Martin Luther King, the same people who killed the Kennedys. They'll probably end up killing a lot more of us than we would like to think about. But this is to let you know the New World Order is in effect, and that is one of the conspiracies. Now, the reason why this story is important to us is that we're letting you know that Benjamin Pruitt could have been you. That's the main point. Benjamin Pruitt could have been you, and since that's what we want to make a point about, I guess there's nothing else left to say, but we'll be out here on the World Wide Web. We'll be out here in the news vans. We're getting a new news van. We'll be out here on the radio with Gary. We'll be out here on the radio with Barbara Rail. We'll be on the radio with Robert Somerville. We'll be out in the newspaper with Gary Coley. And we want people out there to get involved. If you're interested in taking the African American Media Network's web training class, call our studios or check out the website. RooseveltLongIsland.org is the website. And try to see if you would like to get involved with some of the training that we're going to be doing, teaching people how to do front page, Microsoft Front Page 1998. Okay? Now, another thing about conspiracies is that we know in the fact that the reason why Roosevelt is in the black disarray that it's in is because of a lot of New World Order plans being implemented in the black community. Basically, we understand that there is a manifesto which states that black people should be exterminated. But what happened was that there has become a lot of unity in the white and black community. And those black people who tend to spend their time with black people, they have been sanctioned for destruction and extermination as well. So if you don't believe it, you know what, you're going to live to see it. But these are our predictions for 19 Devil, which is the year of the 666 right now, 1999. It's the 3 6s upside down, still the year of the devil, and it's going to be a hell of a year. So you stay tuned to our TV program, but people stop just watching. You need to call, more calls need to come in, more people need to watch the website, more people need to get involved, because this might be your last chance to save yourselves. This is the new look for 1999 to the year 2000. Also, I got rid of a lot of dead weight last year. So, I'm single. Check it. It's a conspiracy. Once again, it is a conspiracy. Don't be a part of it. Peace.
Lemons, traps, video cams, and taps. It's gonna take more than that. They got my back. I'm really paranoid. I feel I'm being followed. I'm really paranoid. I feel I'm being followed. I'm really paranoid. I feel I'm being followed. So for mortals who do voodoo, it's something you can swallow. I'm really paranoid. I feel I'm being followed. I'm really paranoid. I feel I'm being followed. I'm really paranoid. I feel I'm being followed. So for mortals who do voodoo, it's something you can swallow. I used to freak the girl who called the Earth Stalker, a badass stack 6 who's a native New Yorker. I always wanted this, so why I be the rap talker. Jealous of this, the shorties in my shows, saying how all of them be some hip-hop hoes. Well, only weak women should be envied with venom. The record be spinning, she be fake grinning. Every party wanna get in, stressing me when I'm quitting. Wants me home to lead this game alone. But I'm a grown man, the shorty got a vent. I came to represent, and that's what I meant. Even if I thought Boo was heaven sent, I live to rock and rip this rap apart and get my spot in the Billboard charts. This joint is hot and I won't ever stop till I hear it in a pop, booming in a box. I'm really paranoid, I feel I'm being followed. I'm really paranoid, I feel I'm being followed. I'm really paranoid, I feel I'm being followed. So for mortals who do voodoo, it's something you can swallow. I'm really paranoid, I feel I'm being followed. I'm really paranoid, I feel I'm being followed. I'm really paranoid, I feel I'm being followed. So for mortals who do voodoo, it's something you can swallow.
Multimedia Television Filmworks and Production Studio in the heart of Roosevelt. And year number 4. This is the African American News, going on 5 years.
I have a dream. This is Public Enemy telling you about Dr. Martin Luther King. He showed dignity and truth for all people of all colors. The Public Enemy is remembering Dr. Martin Luther King, because all his dreaming could still be a reality.
Love you, Dr. King. Peace.
Is this done by the internist that you're at? No. No? Really, it's absolutely fantastic. This is the kind of thing that we were talking about in reference to the Minority Affairs, but it's really done exceptionally well, and I just wanted to point it out to you and show what can be done.
Forget about the family of package, bro.
You didn't see the outline? No?
Could have been, well, she, I don't have it either.
Okay, we'll make sure you get a copy.
Oh, man.
Excuse me. Max, you want to make copies?